I'm so glad I didn't do the hand thing.
Jesus. Good evening.
You got 8 seconds.
Welcome back to Boomer Rex Tonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. It was 7. Let me introduce our Boomer, Mr. Rex.
Good evening. She can't count. That's part of the problem.
Okay, Boomer. Asshole Millennial.
He just wasn't doing the hand thing, and I wanted to reward that.
And I
Oh, he's
am
doing
Risen Lady Heathen, female millennial. They both eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I am learning. We give you the facts from each of our 3 unique perspectives from our literal round table. Tonight we have just the news for you. So hope you enjoyed your weekend, and let's dig right into our headlines.
Boomer Rex is now down to a new personal low of 214.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene takes her crazy to the king, Alex Jones. Tell me about this.
He's
talk
actually
about-
more origin story for a lot of the modern crazy than I thought. Glenn Beck was doing the standard redemption arc of alcoholism. Like, his metamorphosis is more tied to the root changes of ideology continentally.
That's interesting. So you think he led it, or you think he followed it better than?
If I had to give my personal opinion, he read None Call It Conspiracy or Treason too early.
Uh-huh.
And I don't actually think he's anti-Semitic in the way modern self-defining Nazis are. I think he uses the globalists as code, and I don't think he's aware of that. Right? I don't think he understands that how his ideology. Right? I don't think he cares, but I also don't think he built an idea. Right? I don't think he's good enough to have made a palatable variant.
So he didn't create this.
He stood on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah. And spouted what they had said.
Yeah. That the globalists are gonna fuck your kids and
He's just a megaphone.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
No, and he's crazy.
It's John Birch version 2.0.
Yeah, he can't
Right.
back.
Actually, that's more. Because we only ever discussed that with the KKK version 2.0, which are 2 very separate things.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think he is John Birch version 2.0. That it's the successful but also not white nationalist.
Yeah.
Because Christianity's big to his thing, and so is multidimensionalism.
All right, let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Crazy bitch.
So anyway, she goes on the air with Alex Jones to air her current list of grievances. And it annoys her that people treat her like she's a crazy person. Honey, there's a reason for that.
Oh, no,
So,
it gets better.
anyway.
Continue.
I know. She says she's so offended by it. It bothers her so much.
Good.
They treat her like she has 3 horns. 3 horns? Hey, honey, 2 horns is enough for everybody else. You don't have to go for 3 horns. But in her assessment, it's everyone else that's crazy.
The
Which
crazy
incidentally,
ones always say that.
I know that's one of the big check marks on the crazy list.
How do you know you're talking to crazy? When they say, I'm not crazy, everyone else is crazy.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if we're talking norms and social norms,
Uh-huh.
if you're the outcast, you are the wrong.
If everybody you meet is an asshole, you might want to think about that.
Yeah,
Yep,
maybe
absolutely.
Maybe
it's
you're
not
the
them.
asshole.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, you think back, she recorded herself spouting conspiracy theories,
Jewish
like
space
9/11
laser.
was a hoax.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's right. She made she retweeted the comment about the Jewish space lasers that were setting all the fires in California and so forth. I'm sorry, honey, but you talk crazy, you walk crazy, right? You shout
All you're
crazy,
missing is
you
the
look crazy,
no.
you crazy.
Damn. Michelle Bachmann, Crazy Eyes. And then you'd have like the hat trick of batshit.
Fair.
Oh yeah.
No, this is...
No, I spent
is
my
ridiculous.
first marriage debunking 9/11 conspiracies amongst our social peer group. Because jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Blah. If that building was built to the diagram, it's the only one in New York City, and we should build a fucking museum.
Yeah.
And the plane it was designed to withstand was infinitely smaller, and 12 other things, and not
wasn't
4
full
minutes.
of gasoline.
Bingo. Well, kerosene.
Kerosene, but yes.
Yeah. No, exactly. Right. They had thought about a plane running into them on accident while looping around for final return.
Yeah.
Right. Emergency action.
Yeah.
And instead what they got was right off takeoff.
Yeah.
And that's why the ones in Pennsylvania went into a field.
Yeah.
Because, who's bad at coordinating?
So she filmed herself stalking Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
She's been seen screaming into the mail slot of AOC. I love that.
I actually haven't seen that one. And like a little bit, I want to throw a rock at David Hogg, but I'm a pro-gun Democrat, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
No, because
I'm sorry. There's lots of evidence, honey, and it all kind of points in one direction. So, and everybody else being crazy, that's not the way the arrow points.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
and
So-
what good is shouting in a, like, that's just a publicity
So-
stunt and it's dumb.
It's just stupid.
It's what you do on the Alex Jones show. You go up, you like praise him, and then you say you're 5 minutes of crazy.
Yeah.
Like
While he nods and says,
his-
oh, yeah, I've heard about
um,
that. Oh, that's true.
his
Blah, blah,
syndication
blah."
deal is weird. It's free to syndicate InfoWars.
That is weird.
Because then this is part of what makes him unique and interesting. They don't make everyone else in that gene pool makes money by getting their show on other networks.
Right.
InfoWars is entirely internal. It's entirely about private branding, stuff they're adjacent to
Well, and
sell.
he
to-
sells stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And
Yeah,
and,
he gets half of the ad breaks.
75% of his show is
That's-
selling stuff. Yeah.
No, but that allows him to dump the clutch and say, ditch the ad break. We're staying on. We're talking about the thing where they're fucking your kids and there's velociraptors.
But
bro.
while I'm talking about that, what I need you to understand is you got to buy these pills.
Buy my new velociraptor gun.
Yep.
But no, and I'm over exaggerating when I say 75%, but a huge portion of his
Yeah.
show is literally just hawking shit.
Yeah.
No, but that is exactly related to the monetization path he went. Right? Again, it's like Joe Rogan when everyone's like, well, Spotify shouldn't have paid for Joe Rogan's show. Joe Rogan's been doing podcasts since before most of us knew the word.
Right, but now Marjorie Taylor Greene
Oh, yeah.
going on Alex Jones, I mean, that just aggressively proves how insane she is.
Yes,
because he's fucking
absolutely.
crazy too.
No, it's the perfect outlet for her.
All right, so let's move on to what is causing inflation.
Ooh.
Explain this to me,
That's
sir.
So, there are two stories on inflation. One of them is the one the Republicans have been telling, which is we have to reduce spending. All these things we've done for people have given them extra money to spend and so forth. And
Right.
the government's efforts to fight the pandemic have flooded the economy with dollars, and that's total bullshit.
Yeah, aggressive.
What you're seeing in the economy is that COVID interrupted every supply chain.
Right, aggressively.
So, well, you've got pork producers who
yeah.
suddenly find themselves one week, they're down 8% because they've got 8% of their people out of the building sick. So they have to cut what they send and so forth. So, it's accurate to say inflation is when demand is bigger than supply. But
Yep.
we have this from COVID. We have this huge pent-up demand
Oh, yeah.
on the parts of industries and people and so forth, and we're still trying to sort out the supply chain.
Yep. Look at
When we
PS5.
get the supply chain sorted out, this will all resolve itself just fine. You want to avoid paying inflated prices? Don't buy right now. Wait till
Yep.
the prices come back where they belong.
Right.
If you have to buy now, do the best you can.
Buy
But
bigger
taking
boxes.
money out of the economy isn't going to help with that.
No,
And
Absolutely
the other
not.
thing that we're getting set to
it's going to
do,
do the opposite.
Oh,
the
yeah.
other thing we're getting set to do, which is raise the interest rates, hurts all the working folks, benefits the ultra rich, and does nothing to help the economy.
So
Nothing.
why are
Because
they
this is
talking
not.
about
Because
raising
this is the
interest
first
rates?
time in about a generation. No. Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Just shy of a generation, we haven't been hard up against the zero lower bound.
Yeah.
One of the problems
trying to
about
come
central
off it.
banking is there is a point at which central banking policy has zero fucking effect
Yeah.
on the world outside.
Yep.
And they hate talking about it because central banking is the best answer humans have for like national financing.
Right.
Because any other small bank can collapse.
The two largest contributors to the rise in the consumer price index. is gasoline, and we know why gasoline is going up.
Yep.
And automotive prices, and we know why automotive prices are going up.
Does that have anything to do with
Neither
the
one of-
Canadians?
No.
Just ask. I just want to see if you can blame Canada.
There'll be a bump from that, but
Yeah. It's $500 million a day they stopped losing. That's got to be a bump for most of those cats.
anyway, both of those are for reasons that have nothing to do with how much money is in the economy. It has to
Right.
do with availability of stuff to make.
M1's almost
So-
never your concern. So,
Yeah.
no, hold on. So what is the problem with automotive parts? It's the supply chain.
Is the supply chain.
This is why I hate just in time, and literally just in
Yeah.
time we
No,
developed
just
it.
in time screwed us up. And they're going to be a number. That's another thing which is going to contribute to some continuing inflation, is that you're going to have a number of companies that have realized that just in time for certain things screwed them good.
Yep.
And they are going to be building
A buffer.
not a
at
right,
best.
a buffer, not
Here's
a
fucking
giant
hoping.
stockpile, but
I
a buffer.
have little faith in a corporation to build little anything, but
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway,
we could talk about Chicago fucking parking meters.
and
And why
again,
I take 'em all
if
back to
inflation
eminent
was
domain.
caused by exclusively by U.S. policy choices like giving people money and so forth, we'd expect it to be confined but to the U.S. And it's not.
No.
Supply chain issues are global, so
Yeah.
are the rising prices.
No, and that's
So
what we're
stop listening to the idiot Republicans who want nothing more than to give the ultra rich another benefit at the expense of the United States of America. So
Right, this is the global economy. This is probably the first time Americans have ever met the global economy. Remember, most of the time I was a child, Africa couldn't order things on the internet.
yeah, true.
We pumped diesel into everything we could. That's why diesel prices tripled from my childhood.
Yeah. Because we thought we were going to save money with diesel.
We thought that was going to be the next mechification of the American economy. The service economy is a cute idea. Problem is, if you all stop going to get your nails or your hair or whatever body part did, everything stops. Right? Just-in-time supply chain, you can look, that was a kind of a game and a little bit weaponized economics against the Chinese. That's why we didn't deal with the Panmax problem. That's why we didn't a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But it made China, right? It was our attempt to make our beliefs about China true in the face of a reality of, oh, wait, they can drive to everywhere, not us.
Fair.
So anyway, these will settle out gradually as the economy, as the supply chain comes back online. All right, what else we got?
Tell me about Joe Harding adds new amendment to his Florida Don't Say Gay bill.
Wait, what? I actually
So-
don't have this.
What?
I don't have this.
Okay, so let's understand who GOP State Representative Joe Harding is.
I got words, but they're all swears.
He's a freshman lawmaker. He's got no background in education or child development
Big
or
flash.
LGBTQ issues, right? But he's one of those who's pushing the Don't Say Gay bill.
Yep.
Remember that part of that Don't Say Gay bill was that schools had to tell parents.
I've got information that says some of that was going to come up anyway, but a lot of this devolved to not CPS, but CPS adjacent state organs.
There is, excuse me.
No, I think that, this whole situation that you're about to explain to us is absolutely insane.
Oh, for sure.
It's
No,
ridiculous.
but the
It makes
problem
me
is,
mad, and it makes me happy that I didn't move my son to Florida.
Fair enough.
Because that,
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm worried about him being gay or anything, but that I don't want him being in a situation where a friend of his tells him something like this, and maybe he accidentally says something in front of a teacher or whatever, and now he's
Right.
outed his friend on accident.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what this is turning into, aggressively.
And I don't, all I have is my personal experiences, and the problem is most of the like personal experiences I have of dudes realizing they were gay is going to be, and then I blew an overaged guy in that parking lot. And if you tell that to a teacher, shit, fuck, man.
I
What do
know.
I do with like mandatory reporters? Because we were set to throw gasoline and acid on an administrative team in Texas when someone got fucked with a bat. But if it's that trucker in the Winn-Dixie parking lot, that's different. When it was a consensual, no, because one of you is basically a potted plant with a name.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
So anyway, there was a provision in place to protect children.
There we go.
Schools could opt out and not inform parents if they had a reasonable, prudent person would believe that disclosure would result in abuse, abandonment, or neglect.
I'm going to use this
And
on
if
my
you
pet
think that
Republican.
doesn't happen, you have to realize that of those who seek help, 40% of the homeless youth are LGBTQ,
That's sad.
right? Often as a result of coming out to their parents or being outed by their parents.
Being outed to their parents, right?
Yeah.
Or coming out to them. One of my favorite stories
That's what I
about
said, yeah.
this is lifelong enlisted Marine dude whose son was going to come out to him one night and said, like, if it's safe to come home, like, put some lights on. And he told his mom, and his mom told his dad, who like he was afraid to come out to. That man turned on all the lights in their house.
No.
Yep.
But that's not the like 40% of humans don't have a cute
Apparently.
hallmark moment.
Yep.
And I get it. Like, I've had LGBT friends where like, fuck, man, that's a whole ass hard road to hoe.
No, my
Yeah,
uncle had a hard time when he
Yeah,
came
oh,
out to
jeez.
my grandfather. My
Yep.
grandma was fine with it, but my grandfather, old school, right?
Yep,
And
old
was
school
very
Irish New
upset.
England, yeah.
It took
Ain't
him a
no
long
kid of mine gonna be a goddamn fag.
Yep, but
Yep.
you have to remember he was the fourth with 3 older sisters, and it's well known genetically that a second, third, or a fourth child is far more likely to be gay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it made a lot of sense to me when I found out my uncle was gay, and I was like, so that would make sense as to why I am bisexual, right? So, yeah, it runs in the family.
So anyway, Joe Harding has an amendment.
Yeah. Sorry.
And the amendment would say that the parents within 6 weeks of not being told must be notified that the school has withheld information from them. And the school must develop a program to give them that information. That's
fucked
what I
up.
said.
Yeah, part of this is my own bit of I can't be compulsed to shit. What do you literally? I assure you,
You can fire me.
I have done worse things to people strapped into a chair than you are willing to do to me. I fucking guarantee. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, this is
But
just,
also why I'm not a teacher.
yep.
Yeah, no, fuck these people. I hope something really
No, I
bad
Speaking
happens.
of the
can't
scumbaggery I
understand why
covered.
anybody would teach in Florida.
Yeah.
I think they should wander off.
Yes.
All of them. Yeah.
I think any business that needs to employ competent,
I'm
well-educated
gonna hold
people
you to that.
should be leaving Florida.
I'll have some questions tomorrow.
All right, so let's move on because we could literally bitch about this
And
all
we're
night.
still in pregame.
Let's
aren't we?
move. No.
No, that's right.
Let's move on to BoomerRex's About Damn Time.
So,
What the fuck did we do right today?
Yeah, I know, right?
Did Dianne Feinstein die?
One can only hope.
so
pray
Facebook
every
whistleblower Frances Haugen has accused tech giant Facebook
Oh yeah.
of misleading investors in terms of
Because
what
you
they
lied
were
to
doing
Congress.
to combat climate and COVID-19.
Yeah, they're not doing nearly
misinformation.
enough. Yeah.
No, they're not doing anything, basically. And they didn't do anything before the election. And
Oh,
at some
no,
point,
not
you
at all.
need to ask the question, how much money are they making not doing this?
Oh, lots.
And
I'm betting in the
No,
millions.
I don't. I get to do this. Hey, internet. Remember, Facebook was designed to replace the fuck buses. That's where young daughters, and I guess sons maybe, of not Harvard-bound kids get bussed into Harvard to audition to be trophy pets. You want to know what's fucking wrong with Facebook? That. that's its origin story. Because the fuck buses aren't as fast as Hot or Not.
Yeah, that's right.
Oof.
They were 6 minutes from a good idea called Tinder. And instead, they wanted all your personal identities.
Yep.
They're
Well,
so good
that
at
was-
this, they can tell your friends that don't have a Facebook. And I think we're down to the point where none of us have a friend who doesn't have Facebook.
So anyway, the good news is this is yet another chance to look in and see what it is that Facebook is and is not doing relative to the promises that they have made to their stockholders and the nation.
So we tried.
I will say the Gen Zers, less of them have Facebook
yeah.
than millennials by a
That-
significant
they've
amount.
watched
Yeah.
the boomers and Xers fight so hard over it, they're too busy in TikTok setting each other on fire or falling off milk crates or who gives a damn.
I do
But,
notice that difference.
Yeah.
Where
No,
people
they're-
are.
And that's not
No,
good.
I'm proud of my
Oh, yeah.
son for not having a Facebook.
Absolutely. I also worry that, like, at least one of the parties is completely unmoored from ideology, right? They can pivot literally on a dime.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about a disengaged, available populace who, you know, if only somebody had some sort of marketing ability.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I do. First cars, first homes, first, like, there's an age bracket I'm looking for.
Right.
I know what their first whatevers are Googling.
Yeah.
Which we don't have for previous generations. Like, there is no model Google path for boomers.
It was the
Fun.
demographics for who watched which programs on TV, but
Yes.
there was
But it wasn't
nothing
the
like
same,
the micro
yeah.
targeting.
Exactly. That's the micro targeting is really my problem, and our side's actually better at it.
Yeah.
Now, like, the right has an advantage because their ideology is so loose that kind of sort of, unless you find something to disagree, you could agree with it. So they're up armoring, and we're building, right, multi-phasal, whatever the 10-penny phrase for alternating layers of hard and soft armor is.
Yeah.
Anti-ablation armor.
All right. So,
All right. So tell me about the Center for Christian Virtue doesn't want to protect children
Or virtue wouldn't
or
assume.
virtue of the children.
I think we missed dumbass du jour.
Oh,
Did we?
Yeah.
How do I keep missing that?
I don't know. Is he from Florida? Is this some sort of like regional blind spot? You just trying to
I
keep...
wouldn't be surprised. Sounds like he's from Florida.
You know what? Maybe I'm still a little feverish and I
There you
just
go.
glossed
That's what
over
you get from
it.
your pork rind flu.
So anyway, retired Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney recently cited Russian President Vladimir Putin's troop buildup as proof that MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell was right to make false claims about the 2020 election. That's Putin's whole point, is to distract us from
Okay.
the
God
2020
damn it.
election.
Oh,
It's just,
I thought I was going to creep through a nice house in Virginia. Okay, so.
oh my God.
Sorry, General Who's-Its. I had a whole plan. I was even going to dose your dog, bro. God fucking damn it. No,
I can't even with these people.
And
I
this is
can't.
no, this is what causes me an actual problem talking to the smart kids in my orbit who want me to who want to discuss the fact that China is a genuine geopolitical threat. Which, sure, they've got a lot of troops. China could do a lot of whatever China wants.
But to be honest with you, China doesn't like. They're just doing their own thing. They don't really care. They got a lot going on in their own.
China's not
orbit.
doing anything to you right now.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
their orbit is oppressing the Uyghurs and a bunch of things.
Oh, I'm not saying they're good.
The United
Well, and
States Navy's about
intimidating.
to have a naval base in Maine. Well, I don't know if they're about to, but
I'm
when
not
we were
saying they're
discussing it,
good.
they
I'm just
vanished
saying.
the village that was in the way.
Yeah.
Everyone that didn't move, they just deleted from Social Security.
well, and,
like,
and how
China's some
many
shitheads.
women are missing in China?
Oh yeah,
Millions.
in that continent, 150 million women are missing.
They've gone
That's
missing.
China and India, and regrettably, a lot of the countries Trump meant when he said shithole countries, and I'm like, nah. And it's rude to say it that way, but I would fight to the death not to wake up there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
even post-drugging. Like, I'm going to be dangerous until I'm on the ground.
No, I used to think it would be cool to maybe go to India someday and see some of the cool
I
sites
recommend
that
darting me.
he aggressively explained to me that you don't want to go there under
They
any
raped that
circumstances.
bitch to death with a piece of fucking rebar.
Yeah, no.
On a party bus.
Yep, no, you told me about that. And I was like, no, I'm good. I never want to go there ever.
Pakistan just
I made a
turned
mistake.
loose the brother who killed one of the most famous women in Pakistan due to an honor killing because his parents forgave him for killing their daughter.
But it's the difference between seeing the movies, seeing the whatever, and seeing just all the beautiful countryside and blah, 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 and actually knowing what's happening in a country, right?
I would
Those are
rather
two totally
get paid
different
$1,000 a day in a war zone than $2,000 a day in some major capital ass cities.
things. Right. Agreed. No,
If I had a co-ed team and 9 other things.
Fair.
But
So, are we ready to?
We are.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Center for Christian Virtue, who doesn't want to protect the virtue of children.
children, virtue, or probably Christians, because the victims here are all going to be Christians.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
So anyway, Springboro, Ohio families were shocked to their core in 2019 when a former gym teacher was accused of inappropriately touching first-grade girls. So he was ultimately sentenced for 34 counts of gross sexual imposition.
Oh, and you know there was a lot more than that. When
Involving
you got
28.
34 counts, you know there's a lot more than that.
Yeah,
No, because this is
very
like the
likely.
weird things. Like, I can understand college professors going after college girls.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, like, under 20-something as a sexual being.
Yeah.
Oof.
So anyway, part of the problem was that many of the children didn't know they were being abused.
Nope. That's why they
Right.
taught us real early in New Hampshire. We had a whole, I think it was
Stranger danger.
second grade. It wasn't just stranger danger. They taught us that if a adult touches you or acts this way or that way, to the point where they made me uncomfortable around a very particular family friend who I had always been very close with. And all of a sudden they taught me all this stuff, and I ran home and I was like, Mommy, I'm worried because they said these things and he does whatever, and he wasn't abusing me or anything.
Okay.
He was just a very touchy guy, and he's always been like that. But it didn't trigger me to be like, oh my God, maybe this is problematic.
And monsters
Exactly.
hiding behind that mask.
No, and again, he's from an older
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
no.
He, like, I would
It's like
compare him to
Biden telling
Biden touching,
kids.
touching people and that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So not harmful, like, and he wasn't hurting
No.
me, and he didn't do anything bad to me. He didn't touch me in any I
would
spaces.
love to,
but-
and we should probably look up how physically demonstrative are the various generations. Because I think that is a difference that we should talk about, and I think that is directly
There have been some articles written
yeah,
about
So
that.
what exactly am I looking at here?
physical demonstrativeness of affection,
Slow down.
PDAs by generation.
You know, is the
Physical demonstrative. I can't write that fast.
here's what we're trying to find out.
Who molested the most kids by generation?
Oh no. So
I was gonna
Joe
buy that.
Biden grew up in an age when it wasn't uncommon for men who were with school children and so forth to put their hands on their shoulders while they talked
Right,
and
right.
that sort of thing. That's considered inappropriate today.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So is there any information on that?
Yeah, no, that's I'm
That
genuinely
there's been a change in what's okay?
physical demonstration of affection by
Yeah.
cohort.
Yeah. I know there's been at least one article written by a woman who finally had to tell her father,
That's not appropriate.
don't do that with
If
my
I have a child,
kid."
like it would never happen amongst our tribe, but no child of mine is forced to kiss, hug, or physically display affection towards
No,
anyone.
and I will honestly say that
You grew up with
I
this.
encouraged my
Yep.
son to do all, because I was encouraged to do all these
Oh, yeah.
things when I was a kid, and I didn't learn until later, because remember, my son is 16 years
Opinions
old.
and norms have changed.
So when I was of this age, I wasn't very political. I didn't know a lot about what was going on in the world.
and it's probably a mistake.
And I taught my son that, no, this is how you show affection, and it's okay. To your family, I said, no, if a random stranger tries to do this, this is not okay. But with your grandpa, with your grandma,
Oh, sure.
yeah, this is how you show
No, but I would
affection, and this is
recommend-
whatever. And I would never do that to another child.
But I would highly
feel bad.
recommend both Boomer Rex and Chernobog hold the wee baby Whoozits from across the way more
Right.
often because of his like thin coating of acacia bacteria.
Oh yeah,
and-
no.
true.
We've already discussed
No.
that.
You know, I've never held him.
You're fucking bad at your job, bro.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, seriously. So we've already discussed
Like, I'm
the
dead
importance
inside that
of
whole
old people to touch babies and
No,
young
but
kids.
that's the
and that's
Tell
why
me.
No,
point
and this has been,
in
it's a
discussion.
holdover from COVID.
in my perfect world, we would have old people who are not weird old people, but old people running nursing
Nursery
homes,
The
also
French actually
doing
did
nursing,
that.
Yeah.
right?
There were children raised in Foreign Legion retirement centers.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that that's
And
the best. It's good for everybody.
There's a lot that's probably not okay with some of that. Like, I would have no trouble believing any horror story I was told. But,
No, I think if properly supervised.
oh yeah, no, it has a lot to do with Albania and some of the, like, they weren't Foreign Legion at the time, but they were super in Rhodesia.
No, it was one of those ideas we had discussed. We were discussing about maybe someday opening a theater that was kind of like Chunky's, which we have in New England, which is literally you sit down and have dinner and whatever. And part of the whatever would be if you have a child, leave them with our old people over here, and they will watch them, and we'll have people keep an eye on them or whatever. But the old people would be
We'll
the
have snipers
ones.
in the wings.
Yeah,
it's
would
fine.
be the ones watching the babies and stuff and making
I
sure
know some
that
board
everything
snipers,
was
it's
taken
fine.
care of.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
No, but all you really need is
Yeah.
two people of an appropriate age that understand which touches are wrong and
The only
whatever's
two
going
dudes
on.
I wouldn't trust are the only drug dealing mortar team I've ever met.
Right.
So anyway, parents spoke out about this and suggested that perhaps we might want to bring some sexual abuse education into the elementary classroom.
Which
Oh
is
gosh,
really
yeah. Because if a kid doesn't understand what
Right.
abuse is, they're not gonna like.
Yeah.
like these kids who were getting molested and didn't know they weren't getting checked for fucking space aids or whatever.
So the Ohio State House
Yeah.
crafted a bipartisan bill
Barnabas, fetch the acid.
to do some sexual abuse and violence education. Right?
Awkwardly in favor so far.
And as Representative Scott Lips
There we go.
wondered, who wouldn't want to protect the kids? Well, it turns out the answer is the Center for Christian Virtue,
Oh yeah.
right? So the policy director said the bill should allow parents to opt their children out, and argues that it lacks a clear definition of
Yeah.
age-appropriate
There we go.
instruction,
That's
and it doesn't emphasize abstinence. Abstinence to a first grader? Where the fuck are you from? So anyway, it's just standard,
it's drowning in the
quote,
paperwork.
Christian
Yep.
bullshit.
My concerning thing, I saw a similar article that's discussing the fact that parents are now taking up the sovereign citizen move and filing junk paperwork. And it's written crazy and it's arguing about capitalization.
It's all cool. That's all cool. Because virtually every state
Oh, yeah.
has the provision to recover the costs of frivolous
Yes,
lawsuits.
thanks fucking God.
Go after them.
So there's the only good thing from the 90s.
Yeah. So, but again, it's the same thing as the convoys and
Yeah.
blockading this and that and fuck
It's worse
off.
than that.
Yeah.
No, it's Umberto Eco's The Cult of Action for Action's Sake.
Yeah.
This is we saw this in the 30s. Right? That one of the really interesting things is the Nazi rise to power couldn't have happened without the conservative interests and the business interests coinciding. They thought they could control them just like they think they can control this.
Yep.
This is how it's always gotten crazy.
All right. I think, again, this is something we could talk about for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah, no.
But let's move on. Updates with Boomer Rex. Tell us what's going on with
Just doing
Omicron.
news now.
So the stealth Omicron, right? The variant of Omicron.
Is that the one Neil Cavuto had with pneumonia and stuff?
I don't know.
Okay.
They may
The-
not
the-
have known.
I just want to
given
pat
him-
him on the
No,
head
no,
for coming out.
all I know is that the particular variant that he had, they didn't say which one it was particularly right, was
And
particularly
he
bad.
has several comorbidities.
Yeah,
and
no, he's got MS,
I didn't
and
know
I believe
that.
some type
I
of
was surprised to learn
cancer.
that.
Yeah, he has
It's like finding out
multiple
Charles Krauthammer
sclerosis.
was not vent dependent, but he was in a wheelchair for years I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So good job shooting him.
Anyway, so the stealth Omicron continues to spread in the U.S. It's becoming more and more the dominant variant. The good news is that Omicron gives us some immunity against stealth Omicron, which is great, and so may very well be helping. But the stealth Omicron breeds better than Omicron.
Yeah.
So, and if you're not vaccinated, you're an idiot. So go get your vaccine, get your booster, and maybe you can worry a little less. And
No,
wear your
and-
damn
and-
mask
and
when you're out in crowded places.
I've looked at numbers, and
Yeah.
there are some states that even fully vaccinated people
Yep.
are. It's not. It's still significantly better. So you're
Don't
talking.
live in Louisiana.
You're talking 60% of people non-vaccinated deaths, where it's 10% of fully vaccinated boosted.
Yep.
But still, that's much higher than your average state. And that's because a lot of these states, the one I'm talking
Institutional
about
travels.
specifically is Mississippi. They already have bad healthcare issues.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
So, but if you're looking at a state like California, you're talking a 75% of the people dying are unvaccinated, and 5-something% are
Fully vaccinated.
fully vaccinated and boosted.
Yeah.
And most of those people have underlying conditions or are extremely old and were prone to this was going to kill them anyway.
Yeah.
But much more of those people are surviving than otherwise would be without the vaccination. So
Yep.
don't let the numbers of your particular state scare you. Get boosted, get vaccinated, and if you can, move to a state with better healthcare.
Yep.
That's my
And
recommendation.
your median incomes, we're talking a difference of $7,000 a year.
Yeah.
And that's an important difference, but
Right. It's really the healthcare that
Okay.
is causing this huge difference. So climate weirding. Tell me what's going on with that.
So, just because we primarily have talked about things in the northern hemisphere, 3,000 square miles of Argentina's northeast have burned. This
Jesus.
has never happened before.
Wow.
So again, we're seeing the same things, that as the moisture decides new places to go, right?
yep.
Places are drying out, and those places are having fires.
Yep.
And this is gonna, and
Okay,
again,
you, California.
that injects huge amounts of climate warming gases into
Yep.
the atmosphere.
Oh, for sure.
So hey, so now I've got a good one. This one's kind of cool.
We'll see.
So, in Senegal, for years, I mean, starting with the French,
Okay.
there's a little shrub that lives there, and we'll see if I can pronounce it. Gularasana, Senegal, Ensis. It's just a low-lying shrub that is capable of growing in this arid climate. The French started telling people, dig them all up and get them out of your fields because they compete for water, right? And so your crop has to be there without these little scrubby bushes.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't true. These bushes have incredibly deep roots,
Oh, yeah, they do.
and they draw up deeper water, which they don't use all of,
Walk it day.
and they make it available
yeah.
to your crops. They also keep the daytime surface temperature down,
Yeah.
which reduces evaporation,
Yeah.
and as
Clover by any other name.
as they die, they provide
Yeah,
bionutrients to
goddamn
the
it.
soil.
Who's telling them to dig these up?
The French in the 18 whatevers. But-
It's really
Yeah.
started in the 30s. but
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, it was an obvious thing to think,
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No,
but it turns out the truth is different, and this is kind of cool. So the new recommendation is mow them low, do your planting. They'll grow up around your plants. They'll protect the ground, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think, I
That's
just think
awesome
that's
that we
kind
found
of
out
Provide
some new
nurse
information
plants,
about
they're-
that. That's
yeah.
great.
No, I learned a bunch of this looking into guerrilla grows and stuff. Like
Uh-huh.
the plants are not as combative as the average gardener thinks.
Yeah,
They're much more.
Oh, there are
cooperating.
plants that are
for
combative,
sure. You
right,
can't
but-
plant corn near any variant of berries. There's a lot of stuff, but
If
Yep.
you pay attention, you can combine the right plants
yeah,
to make a good
right.
environment.
And a lot of that is research we haven't done.
no.
Right? No.
Right.
Why
Or
aren't we
did
putting
in
money
the
into
20s
this?
and 30s, and are
Everybody
gonna
kept it
forget
hush hush.
what
Yeah.
you learned from Brain. Yeah, stop saying the peanut guy. George Washington Carver. Good job, Brain. That's why I
Right.
don't stab you with a Q-tip.
All right.
No, but crop rotation,
Yeah.
this is, and that's the thing mega farms are bad at because they know they can amend the soil through various
The
science
application
means.
of,
Dead zone causing nitrate rich fertilizers.
exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. So
Yep.
this was just the news.
Five
for
No,
minutes.
no,
your
no,
Monday.
we've got another one.
What?
What?
We've been, in terms of climate weirding.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to put 1 and 2 or something because
Yeah, okay.
I consider those all as one
You know,
thing.
I'm not gonna let you wander off.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Fair.
Good on you.
Give me a warning.
we've
Something.
been talking about,
Yeah. Rake said.
drilling contaminating,
Oh
aquifers.
shit.
And
It's funny
so
I saw that.
everybody thinks, okay, so what does that mean? Well, we got methane into the aquifer. Well,
Fucking
fuck,
wish.
methane's a gas. We can get it out. It's no big
Oh,
deal.
for sure.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Oh,
Turns out methane ain't the problem.
no.
The addition of methane to the aquifer made it possible for bacteria
Yep.
to grow in
Yeah.
the aquifer.
Uh-huh.
And you can't get the bacteria out.
No, we'll
Yeah.
just
So you
check the
can't-
bleach way down, and then we'll boil. Yeah, no.
So it turns out you can't remediate
Yep.
the fouled aquifers. There are places where people have had $100,000 systems put in to clean up
Sure.
one
Yeah.
house's worth of
Yeah.
water.
And that was entirely a math problem based on what trucking
Where they
water
were
in
having-
would cost.
Yeah. Where they were having dozens of calls per month. And the filter replacement was costing $200 to $300 a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Why?
this is,
Fracking produces water that we can't clean by any science known to
Okay,
man.
how do we stop this shit?
Wait 4 years, well, 8 years till the fall of the Fourth Reich, and then, yeah, a lot of stuff. No,
This is
I,
disgusting. I can't even.
yeah, no, I,
well, and the company that did it is still down there drilling.
yeah.
They're forbidden to drill in a 9 square mile area. I think it's 9 square miles. And so they're drilling right outside of that. And there are
Of course.
new reports
It's
of
not
contaminated
healthy.
wells.
Yeah.
They don't care
Every
about
year.
any
Don't
of
give a
that
fuck.
because,
Yeah.
again, it's
The
a patriot.
millions of dollars they're making from what they're doing does not affect their caring
This
of the
is-
environment or the people they're killing and poisoning. They don't give a fuck. All they care about is their bottom fucking line.
Let's put it this way. A kid that makes less money than your average corner owning drug dealer in New York or Baltimore ran a chemical company that spilled so many chemicals into the water supply, it cut off 300,000 Americans from drinkable water out of their taps. They declared bankruptcy on Monday. They were a new corporation on Wednesday, and they were trying to bid on their own fucking bankruptcy sold things.
All right, can I just say, if you guys want these things solved, give us money. I will make this better.
Make Risen the president.
I will fix this
We'll tell her what
shit.
intelligence
And
is.
all of these people
Yeah.
are going to regret their life fucking decisions because if I have millions of dollars, I'm buying them all out and shutting them all the fuck down and replacing them with appropriate things that are good and healthy for the fucking
I'm willing
world.
to bet if we get any fraction of the CEOs available versus any other demographic group, the CEOs will come correct because They don't.
When they
die
randomly
on
start
fire.
disappearing,
Yeah.
that's going to be scary for them and funny for me. And then suddenly they're going to be willing to sell me their companies for very fucking cheap. I don't know why. It'll be amazing. But anyway, my point is, give me money so I can fix this shit.
Yeah,
That's the
we
only
need
way I
airship
can fix
and
this
first strike
shit.
capability.
The other alternative would be to vote straight Democratic
Every
until we and
time.
demand that the Democratic Party fix the goddamn
And don't get me
shit.
wrong, I
and-
cannot wait.
If you are a Democrat and you believe in Democratic whatevers, run. If you see an open office or if you see a Republican uncontested, fucking go out and do it. Just fucking run. Because I promise you, you'll probably win because most people are Democratic at heart and they just don't fucking know it yet. My point is, if you run on the right messages, which we talk about every fucking night on this show, follow our messages, fucking do this.
They should treat
get
it all
it
the same.
done.
I am perfectly okay with simply straight jacking the military's answer on a lot of this, which is the state should not be allowed to know your name when it's judging you. Because I can tell a lot based on your name.
Yeah.
So, no,
All right,
there's
so
ways to fix this.
So to put it in very simple terms, America needs to work for all Americans.
All
Right.
of us. Not just the Christians, not just the whatevers, not just the other things.
no, and I'm not trying to shit on classic Republicans who are not Trumpies and who don't believe in this shit. Stop voting Republican because it's for your best interest to do so.
I have
Not
had
because
more
we're telling you
fun-
to, but because of all the facts that we are giving you to prove that these Republicans don't give a fuck about you. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene wouldn't care
No.
if you were found dead in a ditch tomorrow. She would
Oh,
probably
she'd
laugh
care-
about it.
She'd care and she'd weaponize it.
That's
and
all
make
she'd
up a story.
do. She wouldn't care. She would just weaponize
Yeah.
it and use it for her benefit, which has nothing to do with caring about you. But anyway, I'm sorry, I disrupted.
It's
All right.
been a bit since she worked for an hour. Or I punched a clock. Good night, the internet. I love you guys. It was super fun having just the news.
All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Remember that I and all of us here at BoomerRexTonight are looking out for your good and for what's best for you, and we just want everybody.
Literally, we put it
to
in
be
one
better.
of our tags.
So-
all that news you missed when you were busy working 2 jobs.
3 jobs.
You know,
Yeah. So anyway, we're here for you. Please reach out. We will do whatever.
Yep.
Go to our Patreon, which you will find on our Facebook, BoomerRexTonight. And again, you can find us on your favorite podcasting services, whatever that may be.
And
And
if not, your choices are wrong.
Tomorrow we're discussing 2010 to current tax laws and 2010 to 2020
That
nature
totally
of that.
blew off.
No, because it's just
Yeah,
news.
no,
so,
I-
all right, so we love you all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on BoomerRexTonight.
Good night, the internet.